Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. As you can see in the background here, we got a ladder, and I'm going to show you a couple of modifications for a ladder that just may suit you a lot better than what they actually come standard with. And I'm going to start off with the first modification here that I done many years ago, and then we're going to carry on to the second one. And the second one is going to be a stabilization factor. Many years ago, when I used to pick fruit in the orchards, well, they always had a three-legged ladder. So you got a lot more stability, right? Most times a ladder is fine, absolutely fine with the four little feet. But if it's unstable, well, it can be a little bit disastrous, especially if you're on dirt and uneven ground a little bit. Well, it's rocky and rickety, right? So I'm going to show you the modification that I'm going to do. It may come in handy for you. If you can use it, well, you're welcome to use it. Let's go over to the bench. Let's take a look. So this particular ladder I hang along the side of my garage wall. And if we just take a look right here, all I've done is put a little piece of aluminum angle on here. And you can see the purpose of that, because if not, well, I'll just show you. See, I can lift it up. If not, when I first got this ladder, like a lot of these ladders are made, this section here, the first part that folds out, would just start to sag, and then over time you would just end up just bending all the different hinges that come along, and you know, it would just sag down more and more and more. These type of ladders are actually made just to hang up vertical. They're not made to hang up horizontal, unless you just put a little piece like this in here. And you know, it's quite easy to do, and all I did was put a couple of fasteners on the back side on the wide part, and then when I hang it up, it sits like this. So let's move on to the next one, and that's going to be using this piece of 1.5 inch aluminum angle, and we're going to make this a three-legged step ladder. Okay, so as you can see, I could just put a couple of rivets in here to hold this piece on, and it's been like that for over 25 years, held up great. So now what we're doing is we are going to attach this piece of aluminum angle to these here. Now see how flimsy this is, right? And if your ground is uneven, or if you're in dirt, this end will sink in and that one won't. And what I've been doing in the past over the years, well, is getting myself a board and putting it underneath here first to stabilize it. Well, them days are over. I'm going with this, because the stability of a three-legged ladder is a lot more stable than a four, unless you're just using this strictly indoors on level ground. Three-legged stool, you ever sit on one of them? A lot more stable than a four. So we just got, you can see how that's held on with a rivet. And yeah, there's one more fastener rivet that goes through the end. You can see right there. So I'm going to take this off, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so let's just take a look. I just took my 1/4 inch drill bit, a punch, pliers, and a hammer, and you know what? These little feet came off no problem, and so the rivet on the bottom is just to hold the rubber pads on, and I won't need them. So you can see I just drilled out the rivet, very easy. So let's get over to the ends here, and this is all it looks like. Very simple, same as on the other side here. And I'm going to take this piece of aluminum stock, measure it so that it's just about a little bit longer than what it is right here, and I'll bring you back with that. So as you can see on this particular ladder, there's nothing to actually you know, fasten it to on this side, because this is an L shape, so it's got to be put on like this. And I'll just put a couple of rivets right here and a couple of rivets right here and shorten it up so it's about that far off of each end. And I'll cut this and I'll bring you back. Okay, so this is as far as I've got right there, and I drill a 1/8 hole there, and I drill a 1/8 hole here, and it goes through like this, and then I can put a 1/8 rivet in here. Now I'm not using 1/8 rivets, I'm using 3/16 rivets over there. So now that this is all locked in, now I can drill another hole here and another hole over there, and everything will be lined up so when I put the rivets in. So I'll bring you back for that. Okay, so let's just put in a couple of rivets here, and I've got my pneumatic riveter. Rivet puller in there, so let's try this. There we go. Now let's do the other side. Okay, you ready? There's one. Much easier using a pneumatic rivet puller than a manual, and that's for sure. Okay, so there we are right there. So it was very easy to do, just slap on a couple of rivets. Now you could actually just bolt it on if you wanted to, but I mean that's a pretty easy thing to do. And if you notice, the angle that it's at is a little bit different than the original angle. So you could see how it's just sitting on the bottom plate here, not all the way along. And that's just fine. Like if you were to use this indoors, you'd probably scratch up whatever you're, you're resting on. But it's not really meant for indoors. This particular build was strictly for outdoors, uneven lawns or sod or whatever. And that's about it right there. Now that was pretty easy to do, and I think everybody could do it. And you know, when it comes to just putting a little stop on here when you're hanging it up is easy as well. And that's my idea of a much secure ladder when you're going up high. This is an 8-foot ladder, and when you're going up high, it's a lot sturdier now than it was before. Well, let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment down below whether you think you'd prefer to have it the old way with 4 legs or 3 legs. Definitely, it's not for indoor use. It's strictly for outdoor. And I use this ladder to clean out my eaves troughs. You know, I transport it back and forth to places where, you know, where the ground may be uneven, especially on lawns or any type of sod. Them little small feet, they just sink right in every time. So I think it's a much needed outdoor ladder use only. So thanks for joining me here today. Come back again. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe and see some interesting things that I do every week. Cheers.